Still sitting in a truck seat that's older than your favorite pair of work boots? Your back has been filing complaints for years. If your seat is worn out, sagging, or just plain uncomfortable, it's time for an upgrade. Head on over to seatspecialist.com. Check out their selection of quality replacement seats built to keep you comfortable mile after mile. And don't forget to use promo code TR10 4U to save 10% on your order. Seatspecialist.com, because a better ride starts with a better seat.
And welcome back to another episode of That's Delivered, your go-to podcast for all things trucking and transportation. I'm your host, Ray, and today we have a special guest with us, Dr. Carlos Otero from EF Routing. EF Routing is transforming the trucking industry with their innovative technology and solutions. We're excited to learn more about their journey and their mission. So let's dive right in. How you doing today, Carlos?
Good, good, good. I'm very happy to be here in your program.
Awesome. And then we have also another guest with us. Who do we have with us?
Yeah, my name's Gino. I do sales, partner with Carlos here on the project. So
That's awesome. Thanks for coming over. Yeah, I'm glad to have you both here.
yeah. Happy to
Two
be
for
here.
one deal. Yeah, so can you kind of tell us a little more about your backgrounds and what got you involved in the trucking industry? We can share that with the audience.
Of course. Well, my grandfather, he was also in the trucking business. So since I was a kid, I was involved in the whole process, even spending weekends covered in oil, trying to fix the truck. So later I went to school. I did engineering. Then later I went to grad school. I went to California. Then I studied a PhD in civil environmental engineering. And I was working in different projects, basically in science, about how to improve trucking operations and logistics in general. So one of those projects was about how to make more profitable the use of electric trucks. Then when I got my degree, I wanted to test that technology also in regular trucks and diesel trucks. So I went out for funding, found a company in Fort Lauderdale that was willing to found our company, and then we started with that. But during that process of trying to, let's say, design this concept for EF routing, we were in touch with many carriers, and there is a particular story that definitely touched me and made me feel like, made me convince myself to work in this industry. That was this group of carriers that were living in Florida, and usually they had really long trips for 5, 6 weeks, traveling all around the country. And they were telling me about how complex was their life because they didn't have home time. They were growing kids and just wanted to be with them, but they couldn't because job wasn't a big constraint. Then I realized that I had a tool. Well, I say me, but also there are other two founders that they also have the same vision to me, and so we started working in that tool, not only to create more profit for carriers, but also to give them the tools to have on higher life quality, so be bagging home when they want it. So EF routing started with a concept which was make more profit per mile, but also keep your life balance for carriers and owner operators. And then later, Gino joined the team. Can you tell Gino a little bit?
Yeah, my background is more. I came from actually from winemaking. I went to California to study winemaking at the same university where we ended up meeting and being roommates. And so I was working in the wine industry for the last 4 or 5 years. And then once he started this project, he asked me to come on and do sales. So now I'm here. I've been working with it for the last about year, and it's been a lot of fun. Super exciting to be a part of a new sort of concept for the industry that definitely could use some updated methods.
I like how you say that. Yeah, update it. Can't go wrong with that, especially when you're riding around in a truck a lot and putting miles on. Who has time to do software work? And
yeah,
it's nice to know that you have people out there that are working on it, share that same passion. That's great. I look at your website, I look at what you guys have. Looks real professional. Man, you guys are doing a kick butt job with it. So, man,
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. Yeah. And
Thank you.
yeah, I got to see Carlos at the truck show. So
Yep.
yeah, that was nice. I had all the booths out there. You were out there putting in the work, right on
Yeah.
the ground there. That's good. Yeah. So your journey into the trucking industry is quite unique. You know, you think about how you got into there and you mix that with your background with the education. I mean, that's very unique. What specific problems did you identify during your studies that led you to develop the technology behind EF routing? What were some of the challenges?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the first thing that we have to understand in the trucking industry, in particular the spot market, is that this is a fragmented market. It means pieces of information for making good decisions in this industry are all spread around. So let's say, for example, you want to take a load from Houston to Chicago, right? So the information about those loads is in different sources, right? So about, let's say, there are different brokers, different shippers that they know that they have those loads and they want to post it in somewhere. So to start with, that information is not centralized. It's just split, right? But in order to decide where to go or how to handle a profitable operation, you need to know way more than just the loads. You need information about different things, let's say traffic conditions, about what are the chances that you get an another good load when you get to that destination, et cetera, et cetera. There are thousands of even, I could say, even a million of factors that are affecting the efficiency of this operation and the performance. So the first thing, the first challenge we had was put together the information to make good decisions, right? So let me rephrase that. Without centralized information, you cannot make good decisions in a market that is fragmented like this one. So that was the first challenge, okay? Put together the information so people will access information and make good decisions based on that. But let's say you have the right information now. Now you need a series of tools to put together that information, process it, and make it actionable. And then this means you need to develop different algorithms to make those decisions for you, or at least to help you to make those decisions. For instance, we have algorithms that are able to create a complete route plan from origin to back to origin. Let's say you are right now in Houston, and then you want to drive for the next 7 days. So our tool, it will gather all the information about those markets and made a complete plan from Houston and back to Houston in, let's say, 7 days, right? So usually what happens with those loops, those complete routes, is that they are highly optimized. Let's say they give you the information about the different potential loads that you can pick there, but also is reducing deadhead miles. It's guaranteeing that you are always rolling and reducing those inefficiencies. It reduces emissions also, and maximize the profit depending on the carrier preferences. And then it's on the size of information. And a big concept that we have been bringing to our company is the difference between data and information. Why this is so important? Because usually people don't know what to do with data. An example of that is when I give you, for example, the rate. I tell you, okay, $2.5 per mile. I'll pay you $2.5 per mile for this haul. Okay. How much is that? It's good or it's bad? Right? If I just tell you that people are getting paid 2.5 as an average number, there is not much you can do. Right? But if I tell you, for example, hey, you know what? 25% of the people of the market have been paying between $2 or less, another 25% between $2.50 and $2, another 25% between 2.50 and 3, and so on. Right? So I tell you actually how much people are getting paid. So when you're negotiating, you know if the shipper or the broker is giving you or is giving you a low offer or is actually paying well, right? And that heavily depends on the conditions of the market, the competition of the market, right? So we want to provide people not data but actionable information. So pieces of information that they can use for specific purposes. Right? Another good example is in the way that we propose our lanes is I'll give you what we define as a good lane. So for us, a good lane is not only a lane that is paying well because you're going to get on a good rate. No, that's not enough in this market. So what we do is we categorize those lanes in three factors. One factor is what is the profit potential of that lane? Second, how easy is booking that lane considering the competition? And third, how well connected are you going to be when you reach your destination? Because there is no purpose of getting to a destination where there is no next good load. We want our carriers to run between always good lanes.
Is there a trouble state like Florida? A lot of stuff going in that's hard to get out. I know that's Florida's got a reputation there.
Yeah. You can explain that, like you have seen many cases of that in Florida.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Florida is just one of those reputations that there's nothing being sent out, and it looks like you guys may have a solution as to how to get those lanes and help those drivers get out of there based off of those algorithms and or just the closest thing to it. I'm just wondering how you guys deal with that challenge.
Definitely that example that you saw the other day about how to get out of Florida, for example. Remember?
Yeah, I mean, generally the algorithm is always looking at all the loads that we've compiled across all the boards and then determining, the rates that, like he was saying, about what's the actual amount of money people are getting paid. And so what it can tell you is if you're in Florida and you're only seeing less than $2 per mile lanes getting out of there, well, what our algorithm can tell you is, hey, if you're in Miami, probably getting a lane out of the state of Florida is not really what you want to do. You want to take a load to Tampa and then Tampa maybe over to Jacksonville and then Jacksonville get out of Florida. Or just get yourself closer to the border where then you can jump up to Georgia and get into, the Athens, Atlanta, Macon lanes that are going to be paying a lot better. So it's always adjusting and just saying, okay, what is based on all the information that we have, what really is like your best choice or your top options. Really.
Yeah, that makes it real simple.
Yeah.
I'm sure an experienced driver that's out there probably knows a lot of that too, but it's nice to know that that's built into the system.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of people we talk to, they're like, they know you got to get up to Georgia. So go. What the only difference would be is that they'll say, hey, I'm just going to deadhead all the way to Valdosta. But, that you could take a less than $2 load from Miami to Tampa and then Tampa to Valdosta. And that's going to be still mitigating some of your fuel costs versus just taking that straight deadhead up 95 all the way to Valdosta.
Nice.
Yeah. Something that happened often in the Florida case is people, let's say they are coming from outside Florida, they're getting in because they made a good negotiation coming in. And then when they want to leave, they want to find something that is also good, right? But the thing is, often they are looking for lanes that are going to make them busy for 1-2 days, but that not necessarily is the best for their operation. We see often that what we call repositioning the truck is the best. Let's say at a short haul, so what Gino was saying, from Miami to let's say for Myers or Orlando, and then later from that new position that is not making you much money, but is taking your truck to a better position, you can start then on a better route. Then this is the type of things that the power of information is going to give you. It all will show you what is available, what is your best option, and then you have the freedom to choose what you think is the best for you. Rather than just making decisions based on experience or based on rate, you will make decisions based on the right information that is actionable and trustworthy.
Absolutely. You're building that trust with the driver and the system, because they're seeing that this is not something I have to try to work with. I have it, I paid for it, and now I got to help manipulate it to do what I needed to do. You guys have already thought about that. You've already put that work inside that system. That's really nice.
Yeah.
How did your economic and professional experiences shape your approach with problem solving and fixing a lot of things in the trucking industry with this program?
Yep.
Can't answer that. Anyway.
Well, the whole concept of year routing is making more profit per mile, right? So that's key. And there are two ways to make that. Thinking about financial solutions of this, right? There are two ways to do that in our service. So let's say 50% of this target of making more profit per mile is based on finding better deals, right? But finding better deals that are connected, because you want to keep rolling. It doesn't make sense if I give you one good deal. No, I want you to run often good deals, right?
Yeah.
Reduce dead miles and save money in fuel. Okay, that's, let's say, on a first step in this whole service. But then there is another part of the service, which is reduce your operative costs. And the ways that we have for doing that now is, for example, fuel cards that are actually helping you to save money every time you refill the tank, and also factoring. Those are the fundamentals. But later on, we're going to have also options for reducing the cost by better deals in insurance, also in oil change, tires, etc. So year routing is very targeted in a way to provide the best for carriers, because we are built for the carrier size. We have observed carriers that have been improving profitability in 40%. Not necessarily income, because income is not necessarily what you want. What you want is more profit. You get more in your pocket after you pay for all the expenditures. There is a big paradigm out there. People think just in terms of how much money I'm going to make this month. But yeah, how you have to pay, right?
Yeah.
So we can make more with less, as you always make the right decisions.
Yeah, profit is important for any business. Was as far as with you and your academic, for let's say someone that's young and that's in school, what was one thing that helped you academically to get to this point in your life?
Well, honestly, for me, I've been just hard work. I'm having a purpose. Like really, since I was a child, I always knew what I wanted to do, and I knew that education wasn't a path for that. And then when I got to the point where I had a good education, I realized that to me it was not purpose in just knowing a lot of things that I wouldn't put at the service of people. And then I realized that the only way I could do that was designing something that I will give to the people that actually they can use for taking advantage of all that is available in science at their service. Well, when I mean science is in terms of scientific field, but in particular, my background is in optimization, mathematical optimization.
Mathematical optimization.
Yeah, and in particular in the field of logistics and supply chain management. One part of that is freight transportation, which include the trucking industry. So having a purpose is definitely on a big part of this. I'm from Colombia. I was living in Colombia when I started having this curiosity for this field. Then I came to the US because I was invited by a professor to continue my studies here, PhD studies here. And then when I came, I was closer to this industry. That definitely made a huge difference in my path, because one thing was like looking at everything from the outside and also not really connected with the industry. I was connected with the industry in my country because of my background with my grandpa business. But later here, I was like, okay, there is a lot of things that we can do here with the things that we know from the scientific side. And then building that bridge between science and industry, that have been the big challenge, because there are many techniques, methods that solve many of the problems that we have out of this industry. But the tricky part is how you make it possible, how you translate those concepts to the actual application. And that's what we are doing here.
Yeah, it sounds like you're living the dream. Yeah, that's
All
pretty
kind
smooth.
of. Well, look, when you asked me about what are for the young people, what is my advice kind of thing, I will say, well, having a purpose. That's good.
That's
But
the main
second,
thing. Yeah.
there is also isn't a purpose that is going to help people.
Yeah, that guidance too is what a lot of people are missing, and being able to see the future, seeing themselves in those positions to make a change. A lot of times people think that's already taken. There's already somebody there doing that. I mean,
Yeah.
placed yourself in these positions to do that, and EF routing is, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. Uh,
Yeah.
what's the origin of EF routing? I know you mentioned about yourself, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there were some earlier days with the industry. There were some problems that the design model, did you get it right from the get-go, or did you have to try it again a couple times, or how did the birth of EF routing happen?
Well, to start with, the name EF routing stands for efficient routing. So that's the original concept. Because when we started with EF routing, the whole concept was about how to make operations more efficient, and efficiency also. So, well, in this case, is highly correlated with making more money, making profitable operations. So there are two other partners, two other founders that also are scientists, and we start building up this main concept. So the early beginning, we knew that we had something that was valuable, but we were not still confident about what was the specific service that we had to supply. So our way to go was go and speak with the carriers, with dispatchers, with shippers, and learn from their experiences and the problems that we're experiencing. Um, that was a big part of that. But also, as I say, I was working for different projects for different companies, city, even the government of California. And then I think I had like different puzzles from this big equation, put it together, and then when I was done with the school, say, okay, this is the time where I really want to put this together.
Nice.
But what you see there, like the algorithms that are behind, we design it ourselves. It's everything based on our experience and knowledge. But as I say, we were working. My main area of work was main field of work was working with electric trucks. How to make electric trucks profitable because they have a limitation. They have a limited range. So the batteries don't provide a really long range, and then
Yeah.
the charging time is also very very long. So with those limitations, can we have a profitable operation in trucking? That was a big question I have. And then, yeah, we found a solution for that. And then that was pretty much theoretical, more for the strategy point of view for the state of California and other agencies. But then later, as I say, when I was out of the university, then I decided, okay, now all this knowledge that I have here, I can design my own different system, but now targeting the trucks that we have in the US, well, the ones that we have the most. And then this is how we start working on this. Then when we got to the field, well, the lack of information was definitely a problem, but also the way that people were making decisions. Like when you speak with a dispatcher, we were very curious, like, okay, so how do you dispatch this? How do you decide where to go? So we found out that most of the time what they do is either experience or they're guided by the rate. This is paying a lot, I'll go there. That's what they do.
So you're fairly confident with the equipment that a new driver could hop in the seat, use EF routing, and be profitable. Like, what's the turnaround? Is there probably some lag in that? Maybe Gino can speak on it, or what?
Yeah, I mean, what we've experienced with some users that sign up right after they've gotten their authority is they think this is going to be the solution for them to operate profitably, but then they run into issues booking the loads. just because of the age of their authority. You know, their MC number is coming back as too young, and brokers are denying them, saying, "Sorry, we're not going to give you this load." So
Ah,
we've had those users come to us and say, "Hey, what the heck? This is supposed to work." And all we can say is, you know, the advice everyone has for a new authority is to work with another company until that authority has at least a year's age on it, because brokers are not just going to give an independent owner operator with a brand new authority their loads.
but they could with
Yeah.
this
Yeah, they
routing.
absolutely could, and this system could
Yeah.
work if they're able to like make good relationships with brokers. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
From day one.
Yeah.
So if they had their authority, what's the best way for it to mature? Just link it with another company, or
Yeah,
can they
lease
just
on or try to get in with a broker that has enough loads that you can just be running
that
enough
that
with them.
relationship?
Hmm. For sure.
But also, there are some brokers that they are well known for accepting fresh new also carriers, and well, you will see them in the platform. I think the only difference between a brand new carrier and a old carrier or a carrier with more experience is the fact that when you build that reputation, it will be easier for you to book any load.
Hmm.
For the new ones, it's a little bit harder, but it's part of the process.
Maybe maybe those brokers need to be more familiar with EF routing.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love more brokers to learn about our system, because even for them, it could be really useful to be able to tell a carrier that you're working with that you like to give loads to how they can remain profitable, including the load they're taking from you, by connecting it with other loads in a route that we've designed.
Is there a success rate or anything when someone uses your platform that they see a big change in their numbers?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a really good question. Uh, this isn't a process where you systematically are making good decisions, right? So at the beginning, there is a setup time for the user to get to use the concept and then also understand how to operate. I will say in the first month, you definitely will see what is the benefit of this. I mean, you can see right away what's the benefit, but when you get to experience it, because usually people they are used to do things in a very specific way, but then later, when they see that it's also very straightforward the way we do things, uh, they get to love the concept and see the benefit. Right?
Nice. What a great tool. I mean,
Yeah,
man.
this is a continuous process of improvement. We are very focused, very user oriented. So every time we have a new user, we speak with them, show them what we have, receive feedback, put together all the feedback, and try to uh, improve it for them. We are very committed to make their life easier. So,
Wow.
so we
Oh,
do.
nice. So, I mean, you guys are really transforming the trucking industry. Things you guys are doing are gonna go on for years. I see a lot of good things. What are some key lessons you've learned that you think will be critical success in the industry as far as using this platform? What do you think people should look out for? Some key things that
Okay.
make them successful.
Well, the way that we build up this concept that is based on the information, I think that's the main consideration any carrier company should consider at the moment, because I'll give you a good example of that. 3 years ago, when we have this boom of loads for the pandemic, everybody was making money. Yeah? So we have an excess of loads on the market, so prices were good. But now, the last year, we have been facing this crisis at the industry, and now it's more evident the lack of efficiency in the operations they do. So you really want to improve operations in the trucking industry. My personal belief is you need three things. The first thing is you really need to have access to information so you can decide better, right? Second, you really need to plan. It cannot be random. And when I mean plan here, you really need to think about your strategy in the market. We help to do that also. Say you have a truck that is located in Chicago, right? Okay, what are the areas that you really want to go to, or the ones that you don't want to go, by considering uh, the different factors that impact that, like the scale of the driver, the type of vehicle you have, etc. So you need a plan. You need a plan for the strategy in the long term, the medium term, but also in the day by day. So we need in the industry to have a connection between that strategy, long-term strategy, and short-term strategy with the operative day to day. So when both are connected, then you can succeed in the way that you operate your business. And third, you really need to understand, you need to keep track of your performance so you can improve during time. So continuous improvement is definitely a key here. And I think most of the users that are owner operators, often I hear things like, oh, I have been running the same lane for 10 years. Or no, I don't do any other lane because I just don't know about that. I don't know that if there isn't a good load. I don't even know if when I get there, I'm going to get another lane, right? So continuous improvement is definitely important in this. So those are my 3 advices in this sense.
I like it. That's really really huge. How about Gino on the sales side of things? You welcome everyone to give you guys a try. How can they reach out to you guys? What's some of the ways that they could contact you for more?
Yeah, I would say the best way is to get on our website and schedule a demo with me or another one of the support team. So you just go to efrouting.com. There'll be a button to click to get a demo. Also, we offer a totally free 14-day trial. So you just put in your email, you create an account, and it starts you off with 14 days of full access to see and use all the features. But I would say to really get the most out of it, it would be good to go through all of them together. So a demo would be great. So yeah, you
Nice.
just go to the website. You can also contact me, Gino at efrouting.com, and I can get you set up.
It's
Man.
important. It's important for people to know that EF routing is not only about the platform that you see there. EF routing is a whole ecosystem solutions for making more profit per mile. So some users they might need something extra. They might need to get access to another type of information that we don't have there. And the fact is, we actually have a lot of information that we don't post there because it's for specific solutions for specific clients. So if anyone is facing a situation right now of low profitability, EF routing is a solution for that. We can help them with that.
Even
They
like
use
consultations and things like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, that's
yeah.
huge. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks for
really
having
proud
us
to have
on.
you on the show, man. That's a good eye opener for a lot of listeners. I'll make sure that the listeners can listen to what we have and also be able to see it. Make sure that's available as well. Put that out there for people because they need this right now. I'm hoping that next year, after the political year is over, that trucking industry will come back booming. And so this now's the time to hit the ground and get your affairs in order. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, and something else we can do, I'll talk to the team in the back and we'll get a special coupon code. So anybody with this who's watching this, they can get a discount. We'll do like 50% off for the first 3 months. So if they wanted to get a longer usage out of it, we can
Heck yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Good night. That's awesome, guys. I
awesome.
mean, it's such a great journey that you are displaying for people. I mean, very proud that you've done that with your life. I mean, we need more people like you. And that's huge, man. I mean, that's amazing. And then the relationship the two of you have looks great. I mean, how did you guys meet?
That's a funny story. So Carlos, he was studying in Colombia and then got the opportunity to start a PhD in California. But to actually start the PhD, he couldn't really go there with his visa until like right at the very start of the term. But he needed to find housing. So, and I was in a similar situation coming from Southern California at the time, not able to really spend much time going up to that university to look for housing. So we both were just on Facebook groups looking for housing. And there was a couple that had a 3-bedroom apartment and they were looking for other roommates. So they reached out to both of us individually, set up meetings with us individually. So I met with the couple on like a FaceTime call, and then so did he. And then they put it together and said, "Hey, we found Carlos, we found Gino. It's going to be great. Let's all sign this 1-year lease." And we signed a lease over email. I had never even had a conversation with Carlos.
Yeah.
And then we met the day we moved into that apartment. And we were roommates 2 other times after that.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It worked out well.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you can live with somebody, you definitely should be able to work with somebody. Hopefully that's if you can't, then you know right away.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that happened 6 years ago, and here we are.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Yeah, man, I wish you guys the best. I wish that just keeps growing. And
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys are in California now?
No, we are in Florida.
Florida. Okay. Well, I mean, I hope that I can continue have a relationship with you guys too, and
of
we
course.
can grow with this too. And I love being a part of it all.
Your show. We can post it on everything, and we'd be happy to see you grow too. So
awesome, man. All right, that's what we need. We need more of this in the world. So
great.
You guys made my day, made my week here, and I hope that do a show that you appreciate and like. So yeah, that's all. I usually don't try to take up too much time, and yeah, we just sum it all up. Thank you so much, Carlos, for joining us today and sharing your insights. It's been a pleasure learning more about EF routing and the innovative solutions. And you're so nice to have another guest with us too. Gino, thank you so much for your time and explanations. It's great. And I think a lot of people in the trucker industry are going to love this episode. So if you want to know more and reach out to online to their website, a lot of the contact information will be provided online. And that wraps it up for this episode of That's Delivered. Thank you for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and to leave a review. We love hearing from all of our listeners and share it with your friends. Until next time, keep on trucking, stay safe out there on the road. That's most important. And always keep the right side up and the dirty side down. Take care, guys.
Have a good one. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye now.
Bye.
Are you a trucker looking for a safe and reliable place to park? Look no further than Truck Parking Club. With locations across the country, we've got the perfect spot waiting for you, whether it's daily or long-term parking. And right now, use promo code DELIVERED at checkout for an exclusive discount. Reserve your spot today at truckparkingclub.com and drive stress-free, knowing your parking is covered.